This week's Parashat Shemini, describes a shocking incident. And it wasn't just a shocking incident, it was actually a humiliating incident. I want to explain that in a moment. First of all, welcome to Torah Andalus. Torah Andalus is a channel where we study Torah together in accordance with the wisdom of the Chachamim of Andalusia. Andalusia was a beautiful place in Spain, southern Spain, gorgeous weather, amazing air, beautiful orchards, and the Torah of Andalusia was reflective of the beauty of the land. So the Chachamim in Andalusia had beautiful wisdom. The greatest of Chachamim Andalusia, of course, was Harambam. I would say he was one of the greatest Chachamim ever in the history of Am Yisrael. So this channel is here to help us together, all of us, study Torah in accordance with Torah Andalusia. I don't want you to just listen to my chidushim and say, wow, that was a great chidush. I want you to think about it, and I want you to see how you can apply these ideas into your private Torah study. Because it's not just about the 5 minutes that we're here together. It should be about us trying to grow and learn Torah together, not just on the channel, but in our lives in general. So please, if you like this, share this with other people who also want to study Torah, because I know that a lot of people love these ideas, and these ideas are refreshing, and they help us in Talmud Torah. So I want to read to you the pasuk. You know the famous story. The sons of Aharon are there in the Mishkan, and then a fire comes out and it burns them alive. I want you to think about this. Think of Aharon and the wife of Aharon, Elisheva, together. They're so happy. They see their sons. Now, imagine a Jewish mom. She sees the son going up to the Torah for his bar mitzvah. She's all excited. Doesn't matter whether the son read so well. Maybe he didn't read the Torah so well. The parents are excited. They're glowing with happiness. They're radiant. They see this boy going up to the Torah for his bar mitzvah perasha. Can you imagine the happiness that the Aharon HaKohen and Elisheva, they're having when they see their sons entering the Mishkan as the Kohanim, and they're bringing the korbanot. And Harambam, Rabbi Avraham ben Harambam says that Nadab and Avihu were Gedolei Hador. There's no question. They were the greatest of Am Yisrael. So can you imagine what it was like to see the fire burn them alive? They made a mistake. And for this mistake, they paid with their lives. So that must have been not just shocking, but it must have been humiliating. So how does a normal person react to this? So a normal person, he reacts perhaps with anger, with an expression of annoyance, with an expression of, how could this happen to me? Why? Right? That's normal. And I wouldn't fault anybody for reacting like that. But you look at Aharon HaKohen and you say, wow, only Aharon HaKohen. What a Sadiq, what Midot Tovot, what Emunah. Look what Aharon, it says that Moshe Rabbeinu comes to Aharon and he tells him the following words, Bikrovai Ekadesh. Hashem says, I want to sanctify my name with people who are close to me, right? So, and by the way, there's a pasuk in Tehillim, Esh lefanav tochel usvivav nis'ara me'od. It means as you come closer to God, you're closer to the Shekhinah, there's a fire, there's a storm. So the closer you come to God, well, on the one hand, you're close to God. You say, that's great. Well, no, because there's also a storm over there. There's a fire. Who can withstand the Shekhinah? Who can withstand that closeness? And that's what it says, Bikrovai ekadesh, val penech olam ekaved. And in this way, by, in a sense, showing the people what happens when you come too close to God, the people will have respect for me. Vayidom Aharon. And this is the point, Vayidom Aharon. What would a normal person think at those moments? He would say, okay, I'm just going to keep quiet. And that's what Aharon does. He keeps quiet, and you think he's keeping quiet, he's holding it in. No. Look at the Targum. The Targum says, on that pasuk, Veshabach Aharon. Aharon in his heart was praising God. Yishtabach Shemo. By the way, that's the Peshat. Also the Targum Ankelos It uses a word in Arabic which means Vishibeach. Aharon was praising God. So look at this Aharon. A normal person would either scream out in pain, Moshe, how can you tell me this? I just lost my sons, right? Or a person who has self-control will say, okay, I'm not going to answer now. I'm not going to say anything. I'll just keep it inside. That's not Aharon. Vayidom Aharon. He praises God. What is zechut? My sons, Nadav va'avihu, they were killed because they were close to God. They were close to that fire. And God used them as a way to teach Am Yisrael, to teach the Jewish people to be in fear, in awe of God. What is zechut Aharon have? Aharon HaKohen. There was nobody like Aharon HaKohen.